Hello, my loves. It's your girl, Karis, and I am here to introduce this latest episode of Publishers Brunch with Karis. It's Saturday, January 24th, 2026, and it is cold as fuck out there. I was out last night and I thought I was going to die. It was so cold. I told my friend that now I know why New Yorkers say it's brick when it's cold, and it's because it feels like you're being slapped in the face with a literal brick. Um, yeah, I am waiting on tenter hooks, I guess is what you would say, for the big storm that's coming. I am sending love to everyone who's in the path of the storm. I'm crossing my fingers the power stays on, that the roads stay safe, and I'm sending love to everyone who is facing preparations or concern about the storm. I hope we all manage to stay safe, warm, and cozy, and that if not, that there are good places to go to find safety and warmth. As I just said, it's January 24th. I'm gonna skip ahead a bit with this intro and just talk about what's happening in the world right now because it's on my mind and it's on my heart. And I was just on Threads where I saw the news that ICE has executed another person who was a bystander or a witness to their crimes. The video of it is horrific. I don't recommend looking it up. If you have seen it, I'm so sorry, and I hope that you're able to find ways to take care of yourself today. But it was already on my mind today to talk about ICE and their continuing efforts in Minneapolis especially, and also across the country really, but like focused in on the Twin Cities. And then I saw this news, and fuck ICE, 100%. Abolish ICE. Prosecute everyone involved, from the highest level to the lowest thug in a face covering on the street with a gun. Like, prosecute them all. I don't care. I want them gone. Because of what just happened in Minneapolis, I will be sharing a link in the show notes to a website that has ways to help out in Minneapolis. It's got great links for resources if you're on the ground and if you encounter ICE or if you're trying to fight back. It's got donation drives for both food, goods, and money. Lawyer numbers, just like all sorts of information. So I'll be sharing that link. I encourage you to take a look, see what you can do, and then share it with your communities. The more we amplify this resource, the better, and the more chances that someone who needs it will see it and will be able to get the help that they need. In other news, the House literally 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I don't really, sometime this past week, they passed a bill that involves more funding for DHS and for ICE, which is bullshit because 7 Democrats signed on to it. There are resources online with the names of those senators, so if any of them is yours, I encourage you to call them and ream them the fuck out. But the actual action here is that the Senate votes next week. So I will be calling Schumer and Gillibrand. Let's go. Let's see if they'll do something good. And encouraging them to not vote, to vote in favor of not moving forward this bill. Because they've already got so much money. Why are we funding the people who are literally murdering citizens in cold blood? We've known since 2015 that Trump and his acolytes and his followers not only don't care if we die, but they actually might be rooting for regular citizens to die, especially for their opponents to die. And I think every day of the ICE operations in 2025 and 2026, it becomes more and more clear, and I hope clear to people who refuse to believe it at first, that that is the case. It's not encouraging, it's actually horrifying, but the more people will accept this as truth, the more people will join in fighting back and taking small actions, whether that's, going to a protest or filming an ICE encounter from afar or from there's so many things we can do that are small, that feel like, okay, they're not going to change the world in one fell swoop, but they might save a life. And that's worth it. So that's that's what's happening in the world. Um, yeah, big storm, fucking ice. It's not great. Um, it's actually kind of awful. And I I don't know. I hate it here, both in the US and in this mental plane and in this fucking timeline. Um I was able to adjust my medications last week for my depression, and I have found a bit of a reprieve in my personal depression journey for the past couple of days. Well, since Tuesday, really. It's been nice. It's allowed me to sort of think thoughts that are more positive than I'm used to, which is a sort of roundabout, vague way of saying that I'm trying to retrain my brain and my neural pathways to not be haters toward myself. And that's going well. I think it's a real boon this week that I had that improvement in my mental health. Because I can't imagine trying to cope with all of this if I was feeling like I did even 1 week ago. Um, I've started an affirmation, like, habit, whatever, where I tell myself that the universe is on my side and loves me and isn't actually rooting for my demise, which has been really nice because I have spent 3 decades thinking that I'm doomed and that, like, the powers that be hate me and are against me. And so it's a little revolutionary to wake up one day and be like, what if that's not true? What if the powers that be love us and want the best for us? And I say the powers that be because I don't know what I believe. I know I don't believe what I was raised to. Um, but I believe that there is a spirituality, a force in the world. It may not be what's the word? Conscious. It may not be like intentional, but there is energy, and maybe it's not out to get us, which is a new kind of thought for me, and I really like it. So I'm sitting with that a bit, sitting with maybe good things can happen, which reminds me that this is a romance podcast. So I'm going to talk real quickly about my romance reads lately, and then I'll introduce our guests for today. I recently finished The Long Game, which Game Changers fans will recognize as book 6 in the series by Rachel Reed, the sequel to Heated Rivalry with Shane and Ilya's continuation of their story. It was a book that I jumped ahead in the series to read it because I had already had all the major plot points spoiled for me on Threads. Both by people tagging Heated Rivalry and using spoilers, and also by people not using spoiler tags at all. And so I knew what was coming, but I still found myself, as I was going through the book, I found myself stopping to reread passages and just giggle and be like, that makes my heart so warm. It has me thinking about what makes a character have staying power, right? Like, why am I so obsessed with these two hockey dudes? Why do they live inside my heart in such a real way? And yeah, it's just got me thinking of like how to craft stories and how to craft characters that live within our hearts forever. And that's something I really want to do. And I really want to create characters that feel alive and vibrant and that can burrow into people's minds and hearts, and stay there forever. So, speaking of incredible characters, my guest today, has written incredible characters. Her name is Gabriella Gamez. She is the author of Next Best Fling and Kiss Me Maybe and the upcoming Second First Dates. And I will read her bio now, and then we'll just like dive into the conversation with her. Gabriella Gamez is a Mexican-American author living in South Texas. She writes about incredibly messy, well-meaning women trying their best and accidentally falling in love. When she's not writing, she can be found drinking copious amounts of coffee, wasting too much time playing video games, and obsessing over other people's books. Welcome to Publisher's Brunch, Gabby. All right, and I am back with, well, not back with, but I am back in the recording studio, and this time I'm with author Gabriella Gamez, author of the one that, Kiss Me Maybe, which came out this year, and next year is, oh, it's got Wrong First Date?
Second First Dates.
Second First Dates. Okay, I knew there was a first date in there.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm excited to be here today, chatting with you. And I would love to know for our listeners if you could just introduce yourself and your books in your own words, kind of like give a little pitch if you want to.
Yeah. So I'm Gabriella Gamez, author of The Next Best Fling, Kiss Me Maybe, and the forthcoming Second First Dates, which is out next year. It's the Librarians in Love series. So we follow a teen librarian for the first book, a librarian assistant for the second, and for the third, we're following a school librarian who is a little maybe disenfranchised by her work right now. And yeah, so you get to meet these characters. Well, you get to meet the protagonist of the second book in book one, and then the characters in following book three, they're in book two. So you kind of like follow, like you see along the journey, and you kind of like get a sense of like who's next. And
Love
yeah,
that.
that's them.
And I love, I was just thinking when you were saying like a school librarian who's a little disenfranchised from the job, I was like, it's a really hard time, especially in the US, to be a librarian,
Oh, yeah.
I feel. And I love that, I just love that there's like a romance series where they get to be falling in love and like have this represented. And also, it is a painful time to be in the books in the US. So my next question is actually like a check-in. Like, how are you doing? Because I know for me, I'm like, every day is a struggle. And I wake up and I'm like, oh God, we're still in this reality. And like, there are things that bring me joy, but also it's a struggle.
Yeah, definitely a struggle. Definitely, it's like this weird in between of like checking the news too much and then not checking the news at all. Something because it's like I always swing back and forth a lot, and that's not exactly a good thing. You have to, try to find some semblance of balance of like not losing your mind.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been that, and it's been still working on this book, on book three. So it's still going through edits, just waiting for the second round to swing back to me. Um,
Gotcha.
at this point, the release date might change, so that's why I didn't say. So we're still a little up in the air on that, and still trying to make this book the best that it can be. Um, and yeah, that's kind of where my headspace is at with everything.
Yeah. That's a lot to have on your mind. I feel you on the like, oh no, I'm doom scrolling. Okay, so I won't read the news, but now I don't know what's happening. Like it's so
Yeah,
hard to find
yeah.
that balance. And I get you on the like you want to make the book as the best it can be, and it's hard to do that when you've got like a book a year schedule. I feel I haven't done that yet, but I'm just anticipating it.
I did not realize how intense it was, and I only feel like I've gotten like semi a leg up because of like um I technically like I started this book way back in like 2021 when the first book was on submission. So I'd already had a good chunk of it written. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine, like, I would have had to write this book within 5 or 6 months, and I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
Yeah, that's such a huge ask.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So the next I'm I introduce this section to every guest this way, which is that all my friends know me as like the icebreaker question queen,
Mhm.
which I know can be scary because most people are like, icebreaker questions, I don't have a fun fact. Don't worry, that's not what it is. It's
Okay.
better than that.
Okay.
I hope. So I've come up with like a bunch of icebreaker questions and then I just kind of like mix them up for each guest. And
Mhm.
so with you today, I would like to play literary two truths and a lie.
Okay.
And
Ooh.
you can share, and then I'll guess what your lie is.
Ooh,
And
okay.
that'll be fun, for me at least. Hopefully, fun for you too.
That does sound fun.
And if you need a second to like think through the two truths and a lie, I have another question I can ask that we can chat
Okay.
about, but let me know.
So is it like I go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Let me see. Okay.
I know, it's a big question. I could also find my two truths and a lie and go first, and you could guess what my lie is.
I think yeah. I think I want you
Okay.
to go first.
Okay. So let's see. I have written 10 novels.
Oh wow, okay.
I am publishing my debut novel next year.
Okay.
And the first story of mine that my mom ever read was because my high school teacher called her in a panic because it ended so darkly that he was worried about my mental state.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Oh wow, okay. So I know that you are a writer. I don't know necessarily if your debut is coming out next year. It very well could. Very well could. First one that you've written 10 books. I feel like that could also be true because if you've been writing pretty much your entire life, like I kind of have been, where I don't necessarily know if I've written 10. I haven't counted. But I feel like that could it could be 10.
get up there pretty quickly when you've been writing your whole life, yeah.
It really can, yeah, because I remember I think back since like middle school, high school, I was writing like a book a year, and I say a book because I mean I was in high school. I don't think I was necessarily that good, but
And no one was like revising the books and everything. It was just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
let's go.
It was just for fun, just for me.
Yeah.
Um, As for the third one, that's interesting. Like your teacher just being so in a panic, like, oh my God, that story was dark. I need to check in on see if
I
everyone's okay.
know.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I kind of feel like that's such a fun and like very specific story where I kind of feel like that it has to be true. So I'm gonna say that's one of the ones that's true.
Hmm.
I'm also gonna say your debut coming out next year is true. And maybe the 10 books is a lie. Maybe it's like 9 or something.
You actually, that was perfect correctness because
Really?
it's 9 books. It's not 10. I'm like in the middle of book 10 perennially.
Wow. That's
You
powerful.
got it. You hit the nail on the head. Like you got that perfect.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The short story one was like it was like everyone like we're teenagers, we're writing really dark stuff and
Yeah.
my teacher was like I need to make sure that this girl is okay. And it was so funny cuz like I was at boarding school, my parents were in a different country. Like what were they going to do? My teacher could have helped me better. But my mom had to call me and be like, "Are you well?" And I was like, "It's just a story, mom. It's fiction."
You
Let me
don't get my
live.
artistry.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, to be a teenager.
Oh, I know. Let's see. My Two Truths and a Lie literary edition. Okay. So we'll say, okay, number one, I first became a writer after getting my first laptop as a gift. Say that's
Hmm.
number one. Number two, Um, I almost wasn't a romance writer. We'll say that's number two. And we'll say number three. Um, we'll say number three. My first book was a thriller. First book I wrote was a thriller.
Okay. See, now this is interesting because I feel like 2 and 3 go well together. Because if your first book was a thriller, you wouldn't have been you almost weren't a romance writer. But I also feel like you could be tricking me. So I don't know. But number one, I feel like, I'm going to say that one is the lie because you started writing before you had a laptop in a notebook.
Technically, I didn't think this through because because
Oh no.
that is technically true, but I always count like getting that first laptop as like this was like really like what made me
Fair enough.
I guess do it more often, I would say.
Like you became like serious about it with the
Yeah.
laptop. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, so what was the lie then?
The lie was that my first book I ever wrote was a thriller. That was not true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to tell me about the first book you ever wrote. What was it?
Oh my God, it was like some wannabe anime fan fiction before I knew what fan fiction was. We don't need to talk about
Perfect. That is my experience as well. I was like, I didn't know fan fiction existed, and
it.
so I wrote fan fiction of this Viking romance series that I was reading in like elementary school, and then I learned about plagiarism.
Oh shit.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm a plagiarizer. The police are gonna come for me.
You're not trying to publish this, it's fine.
No, I know. And I was like, also, I was like 10. I was in a different country from where the book was published. Like, none of, like, but I'm like very afraid of the law. And I was like, they're gonna come, they're gonna lock me up. So I'm pretty sure I like shredded it and threw it in like 5 different trash cans to make sure no one could ever put the pieces together again.
Like I
So,
broke the law. That's so funny. I love
I
that.
know. I've been a drama queen my whole life. It's fine. Okay, I have one more fun icebreaker question, which is
Okay.
just if you could plan out, and I know you did, like a book tour for Kiss Me Maybe because I was looking at it to see if there were any New York City events, which there weren't, which is fine. It's allowed. People don't have to
Sorry.
come to New York all the time. Whatever. I could travel to other places too.
Although
Um,
I technically did go, but that was like before even the book was out, so that was like March.
okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay,
which
wow.
was a little strange, but I mean they flew me out, so I was like, what am I
Hey,
gonna
I mean, what
do?
are you gonna do? Say no? Come on.
Exactly. Come on, come on.
But plan out your like dream author tour. What book is it for? Who are your conversation partners? What bookstores are you going to? Like what cities? And what kind of events are you doing?
Ooh.
So
Okay.
like it could be like, ball gowns and balls or like a conversation. The
Amazing.
sky is the limit.
Yeah. I feel like it would be so cool with all of these romance bookstores becoming more and more popular and popping up more and more across the US. Do like a romance only bookstore tour. That would be
Yes.
so cool to like it would be like my dream to like hit up every single one that has been like popping up and just do, like that tour would be so long though because
I know.
there are so like literally so many now. But that would be like just like my personal dream would be to like hit up every single one, sign my books there, and then
Oh,
like dip,
yeah.
not
No,
even
that's perfect.
necessarily do events like at every single one. But I mean that would be cool too. But oh my God, that would be so much.
I know. No, so my debut does come out next year. I'm self-publishing YA romance, and I was looking up like bookstores to see if I could partner with any of them, and I just started making a list of like romance bookstores in cities that I have connections, and I was like, what if I just What if I just did like 6 months of like on and off going to visit friends slash bookstores? Like, it can be a
No, yeah.
long tour. It doesn't
That
have to
would
be all at once.
no, like that would be so cool too. And it's like you already like know someone there, so it's like that's like your excuse, you know? It's like visiting a
Exactly.
friend and also like for the book, you know?
And, they will host me, so I don't have to pay for a
Exactly.
hotel.
Exactly. That's such a plus. That's
It's a
such a
win-win for me and for them.
win-win. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was our appetizer round. We have had maybe a mimosa. If we drink mimosas, we've had an appetizer of some brunch variety. And now we're moving on to the entree, which is
Okay.
when we gossip,
All
which
right.
I
We're
love to
ready to
gossip.
gossip. Me too.
So, yeah, what is the best story you've heard recently? Whether that was a fictional story on TV or in a book, or whether you overheard it or witnessed it, or if it's something that happened to you.
Best story I've heard. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Like
See,
um
yeah, for me, I've been in the heated rivalry brain rotted mindset, which is
mm,
the gay hockey TV adaptation of a book. And
I
so,
almost was gonna bring that up because I've seen literally everyone talking about it on Threads and I haven't watched it yet. And I'm also like there are only like a couple of episodes out so
yeah.
far, right? Not like the
Yeah,
full
just the
season.
first two.
Yeah, I just
So,
know I'm gonna be so mad that I don't have any more episodes to watch if I
fair
watch it right.
enough. I'm like, should I just rewatch them every day until Friday when the third episode comes out? I might. I don't know. I might
I
do
mean,
it.
apparently Adriana Herrera is already doing that. So
And whatever Adriana does, like, she sets the pace and we just follow.
no, she literally does. Like I will
Yeah.
see her like recommending books on Threads
Hmm.
too all the time, and I'm like, ooh, I want to get that. Like that's on KU, or like, ooh, like I haven't
Yeah.
read that author before. Like I want to do that too.
Hmm.
I just feel like
Hmm.
weirdly, it's now like Threads is becoming that for me instead of like book talk or like books.
Yeah.
Like you would think like that would be like my influence,
Hmm.
but no, it's Threads weirdly.
I think that I was thinking about this because I was like, Threads is the only place where I can post something and people who don't already follow me will see it.
Yeah,
And it's
weirdly.
because their algorithm is so trigger happy that, like, the second you hint at, like, a book thing, they're just putting you on everyone's feed who's, like,
That's
slightly
so
interested in
strange that
books.
they're doing it for that app and not, the other ones that are like more famous for being like
Yeah.
the
Like,
books.
Instagram, please show my posts to new people.
No, literally,
Please.
literally, like what is up with them recently?
I have no idea. It's so sad. But yeah, Threads is where, and my Threads, because I've been posting about Heated Rivalry and I've been liking every post about Heated Rivalry, I'll like log
Yeah.
on and be like, all right, today I'm doing a brain cleanse. I'm not going to think about the gay hockey players who have consumed me for 2 weeks. And I log on to Threads and it's like, shoomph.
No,
Like,
literally, right back in, right back in.
oh man. Yeah. 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 But do you have a story that you would like to share?
Oh, okay, since we're kind of already on the topic of threads, I don't know if this
Mm.
technically counts as a story, but I will just say like I feel like I've recently like been getting recommendations from there that have been like banger. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is like not a new author by the way, but I
Mm-hmm.
saw someone talking about Sherry Thomas's
Mm-hmm.
historical romances, and I was like, I had her so it's like she has a mystery series.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and this was like after I kind of gotten on my Veronica Speedwell kick, Diana Rayborn, who coincidentally also got started writing historical romance.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it was like I just read hers and I was like, okay, I feel like I need something similar, and so like I just
Mm-hmm.
bought them because I thought, they might be a little similar.
Mm-hmm.
And then just recently I saw more people talking about her books and just like being like obsessed, and I'm like, I love a
Mm-hmm.
good historical romance, so I need
So
to read
good.
these. And so
Yeah.
I recently listened to The Luckiest Lady in London on
Oh.
audio, which was fantastic, by the way. Loved it, obsessed, can't get enough. went on thrift books immediately to find more of her books because weirdly, and this has never happened to me before, but um, I think some of her books are going out of print, so like they're not available to buy on Barnes and Noble
Oh,
as like the physical, like there's only like the ebook
yeah.
option. And this really got me thinking of like, okay, and then apparently what I also learned from Threads is that historical
Mm.
historical romance is trending more on Book Talk,
I
which
heard that too on Threads.
yeah, which I didn't actually see on Book Talk because, like,
Hmm.
really, and when I'm on TikTok, I'm scrolling for like funny videos. I'm not really like in the book space world that much
Same.
on TikTok. So that's when I learned, like, apparently, like, historical romance is trending, Lisa Kleypas is trending, and it's like all of these
Nice.
authors are just like I love already, and I'm like, okay, finally we are catching wind of this, and I'm like, okay,
Finally.
with everyone talking about Sherry Thomas because I felt like a lot of people, like a good like substantial amount of people were talking about Sherry Thomas and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, is publishing going to catch wind of this and say, "Hey, some of these books that are out of print, let's actually print more?" Like
Please.
because some of these books are actually getting very hard to find. Like the ones that I found
Hmm.
on thrift books, I was actually like very lucky to find because they're
Yeah.
not available anywhere else on Barnes
Yeah,
and
and
Noble.
then of course people are going to get wind that like their 20-year-old book is really popular now, and so they're going to sell it for like $300 on Etsy or Pango or whatever. Ugh.
Yeah, and like mark up those prices and like
Hmm.
eBay. 'Cause, like I know like there are some people because I think I'm not sure if Indigo by Beverly Jenkins is out of print, but
Mm,
I know like there are like the hardcover editions of those go for like a lot on like eBay.
I bet. I feel like it should be illegal for a Beverly Jenkins book to go out of print. Like that's
No,
just like
literally.
forever going to be good.
Yeah, like why why
What
are
are
we
we
doing
doing?
this? Like print more. Hello.
Print more. Come on. Get it together.
Get that printer in action. Come on.
God, yeah. Oh, and I also have heard I was on Threads. I deleted TikTok a while ago because I only ever use it for the funny videos, and then
Hmm.
um I can't remember what happened. They were like, "Oh no, it's got a new owner and now it's owned by whatever." And I
Oh,
was like, "I
yeah.
can't even do this."
Yeah.
And so I get all my news from Threads. So it'll be like, "Book Talk is loving historical romance." And I'm like, "What a fun little journey this news has taken to get to me over here on Threads." Like,
Yeah. But you know what's funny is I feel like Book Talk, even when it was first like starting to get popular, it was just
mhm.
them reading the older books that were already popular then and just making them even more popular now. And I kind of feel like that's even with the, you know, like the reemergence of historical romance, right? It's like these
Yeah.
authors who were popular like when they were coming out at the time and then now
Mhm.
just like getting them popular again, which I mean, we kind
Mhm.
of need right now so that we can
Yeah.
keep historical romance relevant
Please,
in trad
cuz
pub. So,
I can't write a historical romance, too much research, but I will eat them up any day. Like
yeah,
that's my jam. That was
yeah.
my gateway drug to just like contemporary romance was like I found Sarah McLean, read her
Mhm.
historical romances and was like, "Wait, this genre kind of slaps." Like I'm actually
Oh
here
yeah.
for this.
Oh yeah. I love her books too. Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
goodness.
so
There's just like
good.
there are so many good authors and then
Mhm.
just uh
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. We need it. We
Yeah.
need to keep this. We need to publish
Keep
more
it
ebook.
keep it going. Get
Yeah.
publishing to reinvest. Like, let's go.
Yes. Post haste. Post
Post.
haste.
Great word. Love that. What are some recent obsessions that you've got? And they don't have to be bookish. They could be like items or movies or like I don't know, clothing, wear things. Just like what are some things lately that really like tickle your brain?
Yeah, so I am a big rewatcher of
Mm.
TV shows,
Mhm.
movies, anything like that, basically. And I unfortunately rediscovered my How I Met Your Mother obsession. And
Ah.
I say unfortunately because that ending is trash.
We don't talk about the ending. We just
Yeah.
pretend it did not happen.
No, yeah, yeah. I'm still upset. And
Yeah.
Even more upset because I had not watched that finale since it came
Oh
out. And then
God.
for some
Yeah.
reason, I just decided, okay, I'm gonna watch it again just to like see if it's actually as bad as I remember. And it was.
That was like the most betrayed I'd ever felt by a TV show when it came out.
Same.
I
Same.
was I was incensed. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
No, same, same. As someone who just like, it's like all of that character development, all of that work, and you just literally destroyed it in your final
Hmm.
two episodes.
And I'm
Like,
like, I understand like having a premise that's got like
mhm.
a fun hook or twist or whatever, and you're like, this is going to be so good. But then 9 seasons later, all the characters are different from what they were when they were in your premise. They're like alive now. You can't just shoehorn them back into. And it was a really like I decided to take it as a learning moment as like a writer and be like,
Mm,
okay, so like you have to be willing to sacrifice the premise to the character's needs because
mhm.
like for me when I'm writing, I never really know the characters until I've written at least one whole draft. And so I might start a
Yeah,
book and be
same,
like, "Oh, it's going to be so good. They're going to do this." And by the end of the book, I'm like, "Well, these characters would never do that."
yeah, yeah. And I think too, just like you you've had these characters for so long too, right? And so you've seen them grow and change
Mhm.
over time and like again, like not be the same as they were
Mhm.
as the beginning, right? And I think
Yeah.
if this had been a shorter show, had it ended after season 4 or something like
Mhm.
that, like in more short form, it would have worked a lot better.
Mhm.
Uh, or even if you again like you know the ending ahead of time, so like sometimes you can write your way to that ending even if it does
Yeah.
go on for so long, just like with that in mind. And
Mhm.
it doesn't feel like they did that.
No.
No, like at all.
I really want to say something that's like a slight spoiler. So if you don't want to be spoiled for How I Met Your Mother and you're listening to this, skip ahead 30 seconds. But why give us Robin and Barney if they're not endgame?
I know. And how I and like so many people love them and kind of felt like
Ah!
they were a much better fit for
Yes.
each other.
They were perfect.
Yeah, and it's like I know like there are other shows who have done this too, where two
Mhm.
characters get together and it wasn't expected or like they weren't planned
Yeah.
out to like be endgame, but they just like with the chemistry and with like the fan base like for them ended up
Mhm.
changing, the script or like changing the plan
Yeah.
so that that couple could end up together at the end and like, make the fans happy because
Mhm.
like
They worked.
because they work. It's like something that they could have done, but
Mhm.
no, of course, no.
Also, hot take. That's not actually that hot take, but like Ted Mosby, get wrecked. Not a fan. Not here for it. So
No, seriously, seriously, like all of your relationships were just uh,
the
like
common denominator was you, Ted.
yeah,
You were
just
the
like
problem.
jumping way, way into the deep end on like date one with every single girl. Like not every single one can be the one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Amazing.
common
Okay.
denominator. Yeah, you were the problem the
You
entire
were the problem. Sometimes you just have to wake up and realize that you're the problem. And I, for one,
time.
I understand not wanting to do that because, like, who wants to be the problem? But Ted
Yeah.
was the problem. I did. Did you ever watch How I Met Your Father, the Hilary Duff?
I did. I
Did you
did.
like it?
I liked it at first. Like there were definitely some episodes that were slower. I think I didn't
Yeah.
finish season 2 because I don't know, there was like something about it where I was like,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. It was like there were like some episodes where like you could tell like they were almost like recapturing like the essence of like
Mm-hmm.
the original like the How I Met Your Mother. But
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like a majority of episodes they just maybe didn't really know what to do.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm a Hilary Duff like fangirl
Me
till
too. I still love her.
yeah, I'm like either till I die or she becomes awful. Like one of the two, whatever comes first. I'm on her side. But I loved it, but I was really sad when they
When they
didn't renew
canceled.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was too, especially because they I think season two was longer than season one, wasn't it?
I
Yeah,
think
'cause they
so,
really
yeah.
thought that they,
They could do it.
yeah, but
I, not to be like old man on lawn screaming about the good old days, but like the good old
always,
days when TV
always.
shows had room to breathe.
I know that's like my biggest gripe. That like every season is like 8 episodes or
Yeah.
like 10 episodes at the most, and
Yeah.
just it's my
And they cancel them if like one episode doesn't do well. They're like, well, I guess we gotta throw the whole thing in the
oh yeah
trash. And I'm like,
yeah
oh my god, that's not how stories work.
yeah. I think that's another reason why I don't watch as many new shows too,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like why even bother getting invested if we don't know if it's gonna go on.
Exactly. I can't tell you how many times I got so invested in so many like CW shows back in the 2010s, and then
Hmm.
they'd cancel them and I'd be like, what do you but the alien lovers. I need to know if they stay lovers or not. There was
I
one show,
know.
I think it was called Starcrossed or something on CW in like 2012.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about. Was that like the Shakespeare one?
Oh, no, that was a different one.
Oh,
That
that's
was later, I think.
okay.
And I think it was called Starcrossed. It was like aliens came to Earth
Oh,
and they were really hot.
we love hot aliens. Hello.
I mean, we are romance readers and writers. Like, of course we love a hot alien. Who doesn't?
Who does?
Speaking of romance, getting back on track, what is what is your most like earnest or sincere romance or romance writing opinion?
Ooh, I love a grand gesture.
Ooh.
Like, I think that's like any book that
Yeah.
ends or even has some sort of romantic grand gesture, it's always going to like have my
Mm-hmm.
heart. And I know
Mm-hmm.
there are some people who are like, I don't know if it's like they're either like, ooh, like that's cringe or something, which like I hate when people say like, oh, that's cringe. I'm like, just let it happen, you
Let
know? Like
people be
don't
happy.
I know, like don't be like embarrassed about being embarrassed or like that
Mm-hmm.
kind of like I mean that's life, you know, that's gonna happen at some point or another, you
Like
know.
humanity's condition is to be cringe. Just embrace it and move
No,
on.
yeah, yeah. Just you will be much happier. You will be a much happier person to just embrace the cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a grand gesture. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a public grand gesture because I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the one that like most people are like, "Oh, like that's embarrassing." Like again, like that's
Right.
cringe or whatever, but like just I don't know. There's like something about, you know, like a romantic grand gesture at
Mm-hmm.
the end to just like cap it all off that I'm always gonna eat up and it's always
Mm-hmm.
gonna make me go, "Ah, I love my love."
Love, love. Yeah, it's especially like when you've got a third act breakup or conflict that like hits where it's
Mm,
like it hurts and you're like, oh, this
yeah.
person messed up. Like whether it's the main character, the love interest, like whichever POV it is, I'm like, how are you gonna make it better? And then they come in
Yeah.
with their grand gesture and it's like tailored to the person they love and it's just so delicious. And I'm
Yeah, because
like,
like that's the key, right? It has to be
mm-hmm.
very like specific and like catered to
Yeah.
like the love interest. It's like something they said or
Yeah.
like something that was foreshadowed earlier and then it just oh my God,
It's
it
so
hits so
good.
hard. So good.
So good.
So good.
Yes, I love that. That is a perfect take.
Hmm.
Like,
Thank you.
10 10 no notes. Okay, so in your publishing career, have you had any standout like good or bad moments where you're like you feel like sharing? Like and it can be it does I give the option for both because I'm like some people want to share the hard moments, but also like no pressure if you just want to share something good.
Yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily share the hard moments just because I feel like that's like a
Personal?
secret.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like one that I could say like was it isn't necessarily a secret because I have talked about it was when my debut had to be pushed back a year. So
Yeah.
that was really hard and I
Mhm.
think it was extra hard when you I think just like comparing to like everyone else that had kind of like sold around the same time as me and just seeing them do like announcements and cover reveals and like have like this news and just be like very like excited like their book is coming out so soon, and I'm like here like yeah, I got pushed back a year. I'm not experiencing any of that with you, and like I
Mm-hmm.
thought we would be because like we sold at the same time, or like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's like that comparison syndrome that was just like, oof, like I have to get off of social media for this entire year because it's just bumming me out.
Fair. Yeah.
So I would say like that was definitely like the
Mm-hmm.
hardship, but I think it was very quickly followed by all of my good moments of like when I finally did get to debut. It was, I think it was just the perfect time for it with like the reception, with like the cover reveal and people being so excited for it. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think exciting things that our team necessarily didn't plan for, but because people were so excited about it, it just like
Mm-hmm.
um, got to have those opportunities that maybe I wouldn't have before, like if I was scheduled on time with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think something that I have learned with publishing is just that the longer lead time you have for a book, even if it's bumming you out that, you have to wait so long for it to actually release,
Mm-hmm.
that actually gives publishing their time that they need to actually, get their shit together and things kind of like fall into place and
Yeah.
plan for your book more because they actually have the time for it that they
Mm-hmm.
don't have with necessarily like other books or like other titles that they're working on. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing that I've learned the most is like the more time you have with like that leeway up to release is
Mm-hmm.
really all the better, and it just makes it all the better for your book too. So
Mm-hmm.
I think like that's yeah, like that's mine.
Yeah, that's such a good like piece of like wisdom to share because I know I am always impatient and I'm always like, but I
Mhm.
want it now. And I also like play the
Especially with
comparison
debut,
game.
with like that's like your
Yes.
first book. Like you don't
The
know
baby.
anything, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that
But
was the thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, go
I
on.
play the comparison game hard and I'll be like, well, this person like debuted 2 years after I started querying, and now they've got 10 books out, and I still have
Mhm.
0 books out, and they're, yeah. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, think about who you were 10 years ago. Do you want that person to be published? Like, do you want that person
Oh
to be a
no.
public figure? No, no, no. Please,
Yeah. Fair.
let her live in like, ignorance or whatever. Like,
Delusion.
yeah. 10 year ago, Karis did not deserve to be published. Let's just say it like that. Yeah. But and it's a good reminder too that like what seems like bad news can almost always turn into good news in the
Hmm.
end. Like not always, but a lot of times it can be really devastating in the moment, but in the end you can look back and be like, "Oh, I see where good came from that." Right?
Hmm.
Like a silver
Yeah.
lining at least.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was definitely another opportunity, for
Mhm.
better things to come, I would say. And so
Yeah.
like I would not change my debut experience at all, even after like that setback, because I think just
Yeah.
learning what I learned and like knowing what I know now, I would not change that at all.
Amazing. Nice. Um what is a bookish or research related rabbit hole you found yourself sort of falling down lately?
Ooh. Okay, so I'm drafting slash planning for
Nice.
book four right now.
Nice.
And um it involves a spicy audiobook narrator, not book, spicy audio narrator. So like the Quinn app.
Fun. Yes.
Yeah, and um luckily enough for me, as far as like the research rabbit hole, is
Mm-hmm.
one of the creators, or like one of the audio narrators on the app has a podcast where he interviews other narrators who are on the app. So you kind of learn like the behind the scenes, like
Perfect.
what goes into, either like the writing or like the creating or like the production of
Yeah.
your favorite spicy audios. And that has just been the best rabbit hole to go on. Like there are so many episodes out. So it's like it's just, like
What's the name?
updating.
What's it called? I need.
It's on my Spotify. Let me look it up.
Because I am a podcast fiend. I have like 30 that I listen to. What's one more? Really?
It is the audiobook club with John York.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Writing that down.
So that was my last research rabbit hole, and I'm probably gonna go
Yeah.
back because I took a break from uh writing or like drafting book four just because I got stuck on something, and
Mm,
I feel like I have an idea to make myself unstuck, but it requires rewriting stuff that I have already written, and I didn't
pain.
really want to do that, so I put it off.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But definitely gonna have to go back soon. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. That's such a fun. That's it. I am always someone who's like, oh no, research, like what? Going online and reading articles? That's not, NJ store. And then I talk to people and I remember that research can look like whatever you want it to. Like it could be interviewing people, it could be listening to podcasts about spicy. Like research can
Yeah.
be so fun, and
Yeah.
I think I need to remember that more often.
Oh yeah, like this was definitely like probably the most fun I've done like doing like a research task where like it doesn't feel like research. So like sometimes
Yeah.
when like I get this question I'm like, I don't know that I have a question. Like, do I not research? And then I think, oh yeah, I do. It's just fun.
It's just fun research. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. What about we're in dessert now, so we're gonna talk about like something sweet, something dessert like, which is can you share some romance novels that you've read and loved recently? And by recently I mean any time in the past like 2 years. Whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, so I mean I can go as recently as last night. I
Ooh.
finished I don't know if it's the last book in the series, but the Beautiful Bastard series by Christina Lauren. So
Ooh.
that's one of the things that I've been doing this year. That was one of my goals was to read older backlist titles. So I think this series
Nice.
is like 10 years old already at this point,
Mm-hmm.
maybe more. And I've just been having a really fun time with it and just like remembering I think one of the things is like remembering what it was like in that time in like the 2010s because like that's like maybe just because like I grew up in the 2010s and so it's like
Mm-hmm.
nostalgic for that time of like the
Yeah.
like millennial hipster like
Great time.
indie music craze type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so like that's been really fun. It's like going back and like reading their backlist titles, which are very spicy, like definitely like a lot spicier than like what they have been writing
Oh.
now. I think most of theirs are closed door now, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
like they're rom-coms, but um so like those were very good. Also
Perfect.
I read Millie Pettis this year, so she has this series that kind of revolves around this fictional baseball team in New York. And
Nice.
so the first book is Strikeout, and then the second is Fair Trade. Both are excellent and on KU.
Oh,
So
perfect.
recommend her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, also read Rebecca Fabian this year. So the first book was The Lovers, and then the second one was The Sun and the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
So sapphic romance that kind of has to do with like tarot and like
Ah,
witchy woo woo
the
type of
best.
things. So good, so good. Both are excellent.
Amazing.
Um, so yeah, those are my top recommendations, I would say.
Perfect. I love that. And I love making a commitment or like a goal to read more backlist books because there's just
Mhm.
so many books every year and I'm like overwhelmed thinking of 2026 and 2027 releases.
Oh
And I'm
yeah,
like, but
oh
there's
yeah.
just so much good stuff 10 years ago too.
Yeah.
Um,
I think because I get so overwhelmed with new releases, I tend to like always put those off in because like there are still like books that came out last year in 2024 that I haven't gotten to that I
mhm.
really want to. So I can't
Mhm.
even like think about like new releases because I'm still catching up on like
I
last
know.
year.
Every couple of days I have like a legitimate panic where I'm like, "Oh my God, the books. There are so many of them. How will I
Yeah,
read them
yeah.
all?"
It
And then
gets
of
very
course
overwhelming.
I know, and I'm like, well, it's not just romance. I also love YA, and I love YA fantasy, and I love like adult fantasy, and I love like
Mm-hmm.
historical. Oh my god. Anyway, books are great.
Yeah. So many books, so little time.
Exactly, exactly. All right, we're moving on toward the conclusion of our brunch, and we're gonna do some toasts. So,
Okay.
woohoo! Um, so my first question for the toast section is just, what is a soapbox that you would like to get on? Think of it like if you ever listen to Las Culturistas, they're like, I don't think so, honey segment, where it's like they just like rant about things for a minute. But like, what is like, yeah, like what is something that you want to be like, if someone gave you like a soapbox and a megaphone and like a bunch of people in Times Square to listen to, what would you want them to think about or know?
Ooh. My soapbox. What do I want to rant about?
Yes.
Um, I I don't know if this technically counts, I guess, but I think just something I've been thinking about a lot is I think I've been having trouble a lot this year and last year with writing, and I think it's because when you're writing on contract or like with
Mm-hmm.
a traditional publisher, that writing experience is very different from when you're just like writing for yourself, like before you're agented, before you have any responsibilities, like before like that becomes your profession.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a balance like I'm still learning
Mm-hmm.
how to navigate, I would say. So I think my soapbox, or like I guess I would just be talking to other writers who like maybe like are pursuing traditional publishing,
Mm-hmm.
and you sort of think, oh, like as soon as I get an agent, I'm set, or as soon as I get a book contract, I'm set, and I don't have to worry about anything anymore because like I'm already here. But it's like that's when your worries really like begin. It's the opposite because it's like
Mm-hmm.
I think like you get like so focused or like so honed in to this one thing that you really want so badly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you don't really like appreciate that being able to like just write on your own time or like just write for yourself is such a gift, right? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like maybe it's just like a hobby at that point, but it's also like it's just something that you love like for
Mm-hmm.
yourself like unconditionally, and I think your relationship to writing changes so much
Mm-hmm.
when you have other people's expectations weighing on you. And I think like that's again like what I'm sort of like navigating right now
Mm-hmm.
is just everything I write, even if it's just a new idea, I'm like there's always, even if I don't necessarily like have a contract for that, or like I'm always like thinking like on the business side of that of like what this can be like once it's actually done, and like that's even
Mm-hmm.
before I even start writing this project. And that's something that I keep thinking about of like okay, like maybe I don't this isn't necessarily like a good thing for me to be doing that all of the time. Like maybe I just need to like create like a writing project that's like just for me, and that no expectations on this whatsoever, like
Mm-hmm.
no even thinking like oh I could indie book
Yeah.
this, or like I could make this into like like you go on all of these like different avenues of like what can I do to like sell this, because like that's your profession now, so like that's like naturally like what you're gonna be thinking next. But
Mm-hmm.
um maybe just to like I need to like step back and be like okay, no expectations on this, this is just purely for the fun of
Mm-hmm.
writing, and then we can think about all of that later once it actually exists in the world,
Yeah.
like you can like have the time and space to like actually like make it better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I would just say like to any of like the writers who are pursuing like querying and like traditional publishing, just like take a moment to appreciate, like that writing now at this stage is just for you and just,
Hmm.
something that doesn't have to have any weight or expectations on it. It can just be for you.
I love that. That is something I have struggled with because I mentioned earlier I started querying in like 2014, which
Mm.
means for the past 11 years, everything I wrote, I was thinking publishing,
Yeah.
indie pub. What's it
Mm-hmm.
going to look like? Who's going to take it? What are the agents going to say? What are the editors going to say? And like, I genuinely, there are so many times where I look up and I'm like, do I even like writing anymore? And then I'll stop writing for a bit and I'm like, oh my God, no, I need it. Like, I need to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
writing. And I love the idea. One of my friends actually suggested something similar, but she was like, "Don't tell anyone you're writing it. Like, don't ever
Hmm.
tell anyone about it.
Secret
It's just for
project.
you." And I was
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Can I tell you that I'm writing it?" And she was like, "No, you can't." And so I like freaked out, and I haven't done it yet. But I have this like thought in the back of my head of like, someday I'm gonna sit down and find a project that I'm like, I don't need to share this with anyone. It's just for me,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna put it in my will. So that they'll
It'll
find
just
it when
stay
I'm
on the
gone.
laptop. No one will ever find
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So that's a great reminder, I think, and something that definitely like it's hard, and it's really hard when you're on the like pre-published side to hear it because it's like, what do you mean it's not going to be as fun? And then you like the second you get your contract or like you announce that you're doing an indie book or anything like that, you're like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it really is. They were not lying. Like
Yeah, and
yeah.
I think like with any because I've seen this a lot where it's like there's almost like backlash or like criticism like when authors like actually like say that, and it's almost like we're seen as like ungrateful.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think like it's just like a thing that like you don't understand or like can be very hard to understand until you're on the other side of it. And I think it's like
Mhm.
that thing of like um like on the outside looking in. So it can be very hard for queering authors to actually like hear that because
Mhm.
that's this we're at the place where like they want to be so bad.
Mhm.
But I think
Mhm.
what they do need to realize is that this is not the thing that will solve all of your problems. I
Yes.
think that's probably like the most important takeaway. It's like you
Mhm.
will still have problems. You will still hit setbacks on this other side of it too.
Can confirm.
Yeah. Yeah. I That's probably like the most important thing, the most important
Mhm.
takeaway.
Mhm. And that's yeah, 100%. I signed with my agent 2.5 years ago, and then was like, perfect, it's over. Like my life begins. And then my
Yeah.
book died on sub for 2.5 years, and I still had
Hmm.
depression, and I still
Hmm.
had like a day job. Like all of the problems that I had before signing with my agent were still there,
Yeah.
and I didn't have the book deal. So it was like, oh, this really didn't fix me. Like I need to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, well, when I get a book deal, and I had to have this moment of like, no, like when you get a book deal, you'll still have all of these like other things. You'll just have a book deal too, and it
Yeah.
can be a source of happiness, but it's not going to be like a cure.
For
And I
sure.
think that's really important to remember and to remind people of.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, do you have any exciting news, updates, any fun tidbits to share that might excite your readers or new readers to you?
Yeah, so I think just, second first dates coming out next
Yeah.
year. Again, not necessarily sure like when that release date is
Mm-hmm.
gonna be because I am still very much working on it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that I think is like the most
Mm-hmm.
exciting thing to look forward to from me. Cover's already
Amazing.
out, in case anyone missed
Yes.
it,
That's
on
very
my
pretty.
Instagram or on wherever books
Mm-hmm.
are sold or able to pre-order.
Yeah.
um, yeah.
Amazing. And if you're listening to this episode and you haven't read Next Best Fling or Kiss Me Maybe, go ahead and pick those up. They're delightful. I read Kiss Me Maybe first because I was like, ooh, sapphic. Oh wait,
Yeah.
there's a first book in the series, so I haven't gotten to it yet. But I'm like, very excited to get
Yeah,
to
I mean, you
it.
can read them in any order. If there's one that
Yes.
interests you more than the other,
Yeah.
any order is fine.
And it's fun to
It's
see
yeah,
the other characters, and like I'm really excited to go back to the first book and be like, I sort of know them from book two, and now I get to like see
yeah,
their
yeah.
origin story. I think that's really fun.
Hmm.
And then where can readers or listeners find you on the internet? Like, where's the best place to find and support you?
Yeah, so probably at Instagram the most, even though I don't post very often. But I'm at Gabby Writes a Lot on there. I also have TikTok that I post like a video once a year when I remember that I have it.
Real. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically all across the board, if I'm there, I will be there at Gabby Writes a Lot.
Perfect. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on Publishers Brunch with Karis
Yeah,
today.
thank you for having me.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that was a blast. Thank you so much, Gabby, for coming on Publishers Brunch and just being such a delight to chat with. This was actually, fun fact that I don't remember if we mentioned in the interview, but this was our second recording. I did one over the summer, and unfortunately, the video and sound for that weren't usable, so I reached out again, and Gabby was so game to come back and do a slightly different interview and pretend we were at brunch, which is just so fun. So thank you so much, and I had so much fun. I would love to encourage y'all to go ahead and pre-order Second First Dates. I'm so excited for it, having met these characters in Kiss Me Maybe and knowing just how delightful they are. If you haven't already read Next Best Fling and Kiss Me Maybe, go for it. Please read them, purchase them, get them from the library. I think they might be on KU based on something I saw for like 30 seconds on Instagram. And if not, I'm sorry for lying. They're just really great. I have read Kiss Me Maybe and I found it to be so gorgeous, so sexy, so fun. Highly recommend it. It's a sapphic romance, which I love that. I live for that. Um, Remember to check the show notes for that link that I mentioned in the intro. It is important that we all stand together against ICE and this administration's crimes, both on U.S. soil and abroad. So look out for that. Also, I guess maybe look out on my Instagram on February 5th for a cover reveal for Nat and Cami, which will be published on LGBTQ Reads. So that's something to look forward to. If you have listened to the end and you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if I could beg you to drop us a comment on Instagram or wherever feels comfortable. Let me know what you enjoyed about this episode. Let me know what guests you would like to see. Feel free to leave a rating and or a review on Apple Podcasts or YouTube. We are on YouTube as well. You can watch and then you'll see all my facial expressions all the time. Yeah, it's been lovely and goodbye, my loves.